All right, let's get right into it. We are talking about one of the most unbelievable business stories maybe ever. It's a story all about risk, about staring failure right in the face, and then somehow building the engine that powers, well, pretty much our entire modern world. This is the story of NVIDIA.
And just to get a sense of the scale we're dealing with, just look at this number. $4.2 trillion. That's NVIDIA's market cap. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's more than the entire economic output of 185 countries. It is, no exaggeration, one of the most valuable companies in history.
But how they got here? That's the real story. It was anything but a straight line. So that's the big question, right? How does a company that was literally, and I mean literally, 30 days from going bankrupt, turn itself into the absolute core of the AI revolution?
That is the $4 trillion question we're going to unpack, and the answer is just wild. It involves a disastrous product launch, a bet the whole company gamble, and a vision for the future that was, frankly, a decade ahead of its time.
So let's rewind the clock. We're going back to 1996. And inside NVIDIA, the feeling isn't excitement or innovation, it's just pure desperation. The company is teetering on the edge of collapse, and the clock is ticking.
And you don't have to take my word for it. This is a quote from the CEO, Jensen Huang. He's not pulling any punches here. Their very first chip, the NV1, was a total disaster. I mean, customers just flat out rejected it. They'd bet on completely the wrong technology.
And here's the killer detail. NVIDIA had this beautiful idea for smooth graphics using these complex mathematical curves. The problem? The biggest player in the world, Microsoft, just set a new standard for gaming called DirectX. And Microsoft's rule was simple. You want to make games for Windows? You use simple triangles. That's it. NVIDIA had built the wrong key for the only lock that mattered.
And this just puts the pressure they were under into perspective. While NVIDIA is counting its last pennies, with 30 days of cash left in the bank, the industry giant Intel is raking in $5 billion every 3 months. NVIDIA wasn't just losing, they were about to be completely erased.
So, what do you do? What do you do when you have 1 month left to live as a company? Well, you take a gamble so completely insane that it just might work. And this was their moment.
Facing total ruin, Jensen Huang makes what you could only call a madman's decision. They're going to design a brand new chip from scratch, but, and this is the crazy part, to save time and money they couldn't afford to lose, they skipped the most important step, building a physical prototype to test it. They bet the entire company on a software simulation. If that simulation was wrong, even by a tiny bit, it was game over.
And the gamble paid off. Incredibly, it worked. The chip, the Riva 128, it was perfect, right out of the gate. The market went nuts for it. They shipped 1 million of them in just 4 months. This wasn't a comeback, it was a full-on resurrection.
Now, riding that wave of success, NVIDIA did something that would fundamentally change computing forever. In 1999, they invented the GPU, the graphics processing unit. See, unlike a normal computer chip, a GPU was designed to do thousands of simple things all at the exact same time. It's a concept called parallel processing.
Here's a perfect way to think about it. A normal CPU is like one master artist, right? Carefully painting a few very complex paintings, one after the other. A GPU, though, a GPU is like an army of artists, and each one is responsible for just one tiny pixel. And working together, they create the entire masterpiece instantly. For video games, this was a superpower.
But here's where the story takes its most important, most genius turn. Jensen Huang had this non-obvious insight. He realized this army of artists could do a lot more than just paint pictures for video games. He saw that it could become the brain for something much, much bigger.
So in 2006, they made this huge, long-term bet. They launched a software platform called CUDA. And CUDA was basically the key that could unlock the GPU's power for anything, not just games. But there was a massive problem. It was like inventing a rocket ship before anyone had even thought about going to the moon. For 6 straight years, almost nobody used it. They were just waiting. And this timeline really puts that weight into perspective. The hardware, the GPU, is born in 1999. The software key, CUDA, is made in 2006. But the world wouldn't find the lock that this key was designed for until 2012. Think about that patience. And that lock was AI. In 2012, a group of researchers used a single NVIDIA GPU, unlocked by CUDA, to build an AI called AlexNet.
It entered this big image recognition competition, and it didn't just win, it absolutely obliterated the competition. It wasn't even close. And in that moment, it proved that GPUs were the perfect engine for AI. The revolution had started. That single moment, the payoff for a bet they had made almost a decade earlier, it ignited an industrial revolution. And NVIDIA's technology was sitting right at the heart of it.
And you can see it happen right here in the numbers. Look at the market cap in 2012, the year of AlexNet, and now just watch what happens after. It is the definition of a hockey stick curve. From that point on, every single major advance in AI, from what powers Google Search to what runs ChatGPT, it was all being built on NVIDIA's platform. So now, today, that same company that started out just trying to make video games look a little better is the foundational platform for pretty much every futuristic technology you can think of. We're talking self-driving cars, drug discovery, robotics, creating entire digital twins of our world, you name it.
You know, in the end, NVIDIA's journey from 30 days from failure to a $4 trillion titan wasn't just about building chips. It was about seeing a future that literally no one else could see, and then having the guts to build for it, even if it meant waiting a decade for the rest of the world to finally catch up. Their story started by trying to render better games. The only question now is, what kind of world will they render for us next?